Hello and welcome to a view from the Southstand. It's finished. Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1 at the Emirates Stadium. I'm not going to get too much into it because I've got a few guests on today that are going to literally tell us how it was. Is it as bad as the scoreline makes it out to be, or was this a long time coming? So, first of all, let me bring out my first guest. You may have seen him on We Are Tottenham TV earlier. He did a tactics show during the week, which is a watch, because now obviously what's happened today, he saw it coming. But let me bring him out. Stel, how are you?
Listen, man, as soon as the game started, first 5 minutes, I looked at the shape, I looked at the approach. I knew we were going to lose. I turned around to my brother. I said, yeah, we ain't winning this. Even some fans who got a little bit gassed up because we stayed in the game, and they'll say the game changed because Emerson Rowe got a red card. The game changed after 10 minutes, the way we went about it, and it's opinions, right? It's all about opinions.
So obviously, if people haven't seen your show during the week, you basically said we should be going into it 3-5-2 because we'll get overrun in that midfield. So obviously, when the lineup came out today and it was Richarlison instead of, let's say Basuma, you say you was expecting it, but was the first 10 minutes Arsenal literally came at us? And was it a case of we rode our luck, or was it a case of actually we contained them as much as we could?
I didn't quite say we'd get overrun in midfield. I said that if we should play 5-3-2.
Yeah.
But the way Conte likes it is he wants 3-4-3. So let's call it line 1, line 2, line 3. He wants it compact. And fans are crying out for that middle line to have 3 players in the middle and then 2 wide players. So it goes into a 5. It doesn't matter whether you put 2 in the middle, 3 in the middle. That compactness with wing backs, for me, exposes us to Arsenal's strength, which is to get down those wide areas. 2 of their goals came from exactly that.
So that was going to be my next question. Thomas Partey's goal, obviously, it came from
out wide, square to the edge of the box.
And then the same with the second goal as well.
I have to say, as much as we hate them, the goal from Partey was sensational, man. It was just a world-class strike.
Yeah.
Very little we could have done about that anyway, to be honest with you. But that they were looking to get the ball in that area. Yeah, so I looked at the way Arsenal played. I just sat there and I thought, right, let me analyse what Arsenal do. And what I spotted was they like to create a lot of pressure down the wide areas, and they try to get 2 or 3 players out wide to just pull you over a bit. And whether they suck you over from behind the defence or in front of it, normally it's in front, you're then now depending on the holding mid movement. And if you have 2 holding mids and 1 goes out, you now have 1 holding mid covering quite a big area. So I said, put 3 there. So at least if 1 goes over, 2 can protect that space. We did that against Liverpool at home when we drew 2-2. We should have beaten them.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more about shutting down Arsenal. Just stop them from playing. And then in terms of trying to win the game, I said play the 2 strikers high and wide to pull Saliba and Gabriel apart and then run down the middle of them. Because I saw Man United got joy doing something similar. So I thought, right, that's how we counter. So I thought if we set up like that, I think we might have a chance. But we didn't. And what I feared happened kind of did.
So, because if you look at the goals that Arsenal have conceded this year, you're spot on. Because if you look at the Man United game and you even look at the Leicester game, what they did to them in the second half, they did exactly what you said. But, we went in at half-time 1-1. Was you expecting Conte to make some changes? Because were we quite lucky and passive to be going in at 1-0 is the one question. And then the next question is, did you expect the changes in the second half to come a little bit earlier than they did?
No. I think at half-time, the conversation would have been good, 1-1. We're creating chances. We're in the game. And I think a lot of fans would have been sucked in by that as well. Keep it as it is. Well, For me, it was a matter of time. It was a matter of time because if you watch Arsenal this season, they're better in the second half. They're either really good in the first 20, 30 minutes and they put teams to bed, or they come strong second half. We just as Spurs fans completely dismiss the fact that Arsenal are actually a very good team this season. They are a very good team this season, and fans don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit the truth. Arsenal are good. Saliba has changed the back line. Zinchenko has fixed the problem when Tavares used to come in and they used to get rinsed. He's fixed that problem. And Jesus is exactly the player they needed. That's the perfect player they could have signed for their system. So when you sign 3 players that all slot in, right, it's going to improve you. You look at us, Marlon, yeah. We signed 7 players. One's gone back out on loan. One's a goalie that's never going to play for us. One's a wing back that no one knows if Conte wants him or not. Doesn't even get a look in. He's third choice, not even second, because Doherty came on today. So he's third choice, Spence.
Yep.
That leaves us with 4 signings. Perisic starts. He can't defend, and he's a wing back. Basuma, you tell me what's going on with Basuma, right? He hardly plays. Longley only comes in if Ben Davies is injured, so he came in today, and he's a stopgap. His contract ends at the end of the season, so he's not some long-term vision of a plan. And then the other one's Richarlison, who is playing for us. So out of the 7 players, realistically, only 2 ever start for us. How have we improved? Like, we've improved the number of players, the squad depth, but has the quality really gone up levels? I'm yet to be convinced. I'll give it a season. But I just think Arsenal have improved better than what we have, if I'm honest about it.
And do you think this is what Conte was hinting at the end of the transfer window, when a lot of people were saying, Spurs have had a good transfer window, but he actually said that we had a good start, but the problem is the teams around us have improved a lot, and we didn't improve after that.
Listen, Marlon, I don't want you to lose subscribers, okay? So I'm going to try and keep it as simple as I can, yeah. But these people that say our squad's improved, they're frauds. Right? There's a lot of frauds in the media that just they suck off the ownership of Tottenham. I don't know what Levy's got on them, but he's got something on them. A lot of these journalists are scared to say the truth because they might lose access to the press office and the press rooms and all that.
Yeah,
and a lot of YouTubers, a lot of YouTubers are sheep, right? They're sheep. What's the cool thing to say? What's the popular thing to say? Just stick to that. And we'll go up in subscribers. We'll get loads of clicks. And my channel has proven just say it as it is, and you'll be okay, man. But they're scared of that. They're scared of that. So I think when fans at the start of the season bigged up the transfer window, I wasn't one of them. I said, I think out of the 7 signings, we've done what we always do. A third of our signings are really good. Another third are, let's see what happens. And another third, absolute waste of time. Absolute waste of why bother? So I think, it was a typical Levy transfer window. The only good thing about it was we got the business done early. That was quite new. We got the business done early. That's the only good thing. But you knew as soon as Daniel Levy said, right, I'm going to get involved in the Spence deal, leave that to me. You know that Paratici isn't in control like he needs to be, and Conte isn't quite getting the autonomy he needs, and that's it. But I don't blame just the transfer window, man. There's players at this club that should have been gone ages ago, like Dyer, Davies. Fans will rate them and big them up. They've never won anything. They've never done anything better than get top 4. They've never won any individual records like Son and Kane. And under Pochettino, when we were the real deal, they never played. They dropped.
And this is the thing. Davis was always back up, and then Dyer was always. Let's be honest, he was a central midfielder under Poch until he got really ill, and then he suddenly didn't come back in at all.
Then Wanyama took over. Wanyama took his space.
Took over. So when you look at our squad, let's look at it in the bigger picture. When you look at our squad, are they still good enough to make the top 4? Like, even going on with the performance today and the performance we've had this season, are they good enough to make top 4? And then the next question is, because everyone's expecting a trophy, are we good enough then to win a trophy on top with this squad right now? Yeah,
so when the transfer window ended, my take on it was we have done what we think is just about enough, maybe another 1 or 2 signings in January to maintain being in a top 4 race again. Whether we get top 4 or not, I don't know. Depends how quickly Chelsea get it together. Depends where Liverpool can recover. I mean, they're having a very difficult start.
Yeah.
It depends if Arsenal can maintain what they're doing because they haven't had any injuries or any really
and that's
tough series of games.
Yeah,
messed them up before. It also depends on whether Man United are going to click under Ten Hag, how quickly that happens. So there's a lot of factors. I don't know who's going to be top 4. You know, City, 100%, right? The rest, I don't know. But I feel we've done what we think is enough to be in a top 4 race and just try and stay in top 4. Trophies? No. This team isn't. This team has not got the minerals for it. I famously said that last time about top 4 and I was wrong. But I just feel, Marlon, at some point, we're going to have to play Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool in a knockout game.
Yeah.
And you know how that's going to go, right? Look at us today.
Yeah.
Look at us today. You know, the pressure's on.
It makes perfect sense.
And we lose the plot.
So let's look at the 2 goals in the second half quickly. So obviously, a Lloris mistake in the end. There's probably a bunch of mistakes before that, but then the sending off with Royale. Other players have got away with it, and we won't mention them players. But do you think it was a sending off, first of all?
50-50. I mean, when he got the red card, I wasn't like angry and furious with the decision.
Yeah.
If he didn't get the red card, I would have been, okay, we got away with that one. Yeah. So for me, the question you should be asking me is, why is he making a tackle like that in that area of the pitch? Yeah. Like, how stupid are you, man? Like, you are so lacking intelligence as a football player. As soon as Marlon, as soon as he goes over the halfway line, I feel like we're down to 10 men, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like he's picked up a red card before he's got it because he's hard to pick. I'm not a fan of his. I slag him off on every channel. I don't hate him as a human being, as a football player. I don't want him at Tottenham, and I've been saying this for a very, very long time. This isn't reactionary. I'm not one of these fans that said he's young, give him a chance, but he come from Barcelona. You wait and see. I've said from very early doors, I don't like him. I think he's terrible. Just like I say, I don't think Eric Dyer is the player people make him out to be. And I think Sessegnon, he's out of his depth at Tottenham. He needs to leave. This club is too big for him. He can't hack it here. I feel sorry. I feel sorry.
With Sess, I agree with you with Sess, and I think this is his last season that he's going to be able to establish, because obviously we've got Destiny coming in next season. But just a quick question on the Real thing. You said that you weren't completely unhappy with it. Was you in the back of your mind thinking, actually, this has done us a favour that he's going to be suspended for 3 games, looking at the next fixtures?
Listen,
apart
as
from Tuesday,
fans,
obviously, because obviously he's going to play Tuesday now.
100% he's going to play. Yeah, look, as a fan, yeah, man, yeah, of course. To know he's not going to play the next 3 games for me is a joy. Whether that changes the outcomes and the results, I don't know. Big up, Peter. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to change the outcome. Look, Marlon, I don't think the way we play football, it's going to improve. It will improve. But I don't think it's going to be the football fans want to see until Conte gets the players he wants. Listen, when he was at Inter Milan, he had Lautaro Martinez, he had Barella, he had Bastoni, he had Eriksen. He had some serious technical football players. Skriniar, De Vrij. He's come here. Davies, Dyer, Sess, Emerson, Doherty, Højbjerg, who I don't disrespect. I like him, but he's not technical like that. Going forward, Richarlison, I think there's too much hype on him as well, Marlon. I'm not disrespecting Richarlison.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy that he's at Spurs, but he's not that player that makes me think, that was a signing, you know. I'm just being honest about how I feel about it. But I do think we'll be in the mix. I do think we'll be in the mix come January. Somehow. Some hook by crook luck. I think we're gonna find a way. But then January, I don't know. After that, we need to sign some top players, man.
It was quite interesting because Cesc Fabregas today was the pundit on BT Sport. He said something that kind of resonated with. He basically said at the beginning of his reign at Chelsea with Conte, he didn't want him. And he barely played. But in the second half of the season, he got in because he wasn't a Matic or an Kante, which then you look at our midfield, again, we don't have them sort of players. Is this, you said earlier, we haven't got the players, but when people always go, but look how he turned Moses, do you not have to look at the Chelsea team and look at the rest of the squad to see, actually, look at what Conte had as a core compared to what we have right now?
I would say Chelsea had a better team than what Conte's inherited at Tottenham. They had Terry, Cahill as centre-backs. I mean, look what we got. Yeah. They had Azpilicueta in his prime.
Yeah.
N'Golo Kante, the best defensive, maybe box-to-box midfielder we've seen in the last 10, 15 years. Eden Hazard, player of the year, player of the year, got signed by Real Madrid because he's that level. They had Matic in his prime, Fabregas, right? We don't have those players. The only players we've got that I could say in midfield and centre back that you could say could mix it up with them is Romero, but he's out of. I don't think he's quite on form at the moment.
He was going to be my next question for you as well about Romero.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll get into it. I think Romero would have got into that Chelsea team. That's the only defender that gets into that. And then out of our midfielders, possibly, but he's yet to show it at Spurs, Basuma.
Yeah.
The rest don't get into that Chelsea team, man. That's the reality. So, and what you say about Moses, you're right. But it's one thing turning one player around. There's about 8-9 players that need to be turned around at Tottenham.
And I suppose this is the issue. I think, this is going to be the issue. And I know everyone's going to be, I know we're talking about a loss today and it's our first loss of the season. But is it down to the fact is when you look at it, this has been coming for weeks. And you saw the game against Sporting Lisbon as well. And you can see that we don't have the quality. We're just getting through the games at the moment. Is it a case of we kind of might have the same season as we did last year, where we're going to go on runs where we're not going to lose. We're going to lose 1 or 2 throughout the season. Where everyone's going to be, oh my God, Spurs lost, like we did against Brighton. But it's just going to be a mix and mash season again, like last year. It's not going to be as what we think it's all going to be.
We haven't got the squad to be in the Champions League, the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, a World Cup break. We don't have the squad. The quality is not there. Look at the players that come on. Cess, Doherty, Brian Hill. Come on, Brian Hill. He doesn't even want him at the club. You look at the players that come on, you're thinking, that's the squad depth.
Yeah, look at the bench today. Yeah, was
Kulusevski gets injured and we've got no attacking player to bring on. Right?
Yeah.
Richarlison starts. That's the attack done. There's nothing on the bench. So we haven't got the squad depth. The reason we got top 4 is because we played 1 game a week because we were out of everything, and because we signed 2 players and our main rivals, West Ham, Arsenal, and Man United for 4th spot, didn't sign anyone. That's why we got top 4. Yeah. Right. Correct. Well, Arsenal have signed this summer. Man United have signed this summer. So have we. They're all in competitions. Who's got the best squad depth? I don't think Man United have got the squad depth. Arsenal probably have the better squad depth out of Tottenham and Arsenal. They probably have. We've got the better manager, I feel, but I think they've got the better squad depth.
Yeah.
I don't think we have good squad depth. Numbers, yeah. Quality, no chance. No chance. Same problem we've always had. We don't have enough quality on the bench.
It's going into last year's performance, because obviously last year and this year, same result. Were we any better than last year at the Emirates today? Was it a case of the reason?
I'm going to read you something.
Yeah, and I thought this was going to come out because I saw there was a stat that came out today that actually we had more of the game last year, considering we lost it in the first 20 minutes.
I'm going to show you something. Just got to get it up. Okay. Right. Today, Arsenal had 22 shots. We had 7. Last season, they had 12. We had 10. They had 9 shots on target today. We had 3. They had 7 shots on target. We had 4. So shooting, shots on target, shots taken, we were better last season. Possession, we had 54% last season. We had 35 today. Passes completed, 307 today. 485 we had last year. Passing accuracy, 77% today. 85% last year. I can go on, Marlon. If you're looking at it on the eye,
yeah,
it looks like today was better because we weren't getting battered like we did in that first half. But if you look at the stats, we were better last year.
Well, this is why I asked the question, because I it's quite weird because
I think same shit, Marlon.
Yeah.
I think same shit. Same shit.
So do you know I've got this Apple Watch, right? And the only game where my heart rate seems to jump high is always Spurs Arsenal, right? I could show you the pictures and everything, but the only time my heart rate goes up and down. But today, my heart rate literally jumped 3 times during that game. And then last year, it never really, considering the fast start they had. But I looked at last year, and I remember in the second half, we were a lot better in that second half last year. I couldn't tell you a part in the game today where we were actually quite good.
I think 2 things were different last year. One, Arsenal had their squad wasn't as good.
Yeah. And
I also think last year, did we go down to 10 men? Lamela got sent off under Conte, not Nuno. No. Sorry, under Mourinho. So today we went down to 10 men as well, which hurt us. But there's reasons why. That's why I kind of think, it's just the same. I think, Marlon, it's the same shit, different look. Yeah.
And the same core of players as well. Like we have to look at it. Dyer still around. Yeah, Kane still around. Son still around. Højbjerg still around. Lloris is still around. And it's kind of the same problems. And no matter what players we sign to be around what we call our core, we seem to be still getting the same results out of it. So, it's inevitable.
It's funny that.
So let's look forward to Tuesday with you. Are you feeling any confidence with this team going into Tuesday? Do you think Conte will turn it around? Because obviously, last game was a bad Champions League game. We've had a bad result against our North London rivals now. Do you feel like actually the team can get away from this and start pulling some results? And we've got Brighton next weekend.
Yeah, so I don't think Frankfurt are anywhere near the levels Arsenal play football at. And the 2 best players Frankfurt lost. So they've struggled a bit in the Champions League this season, Frankfurt. I expect us to win, but I can't tell you if we will. I don't know what. I haven't watched enough of Frankfurt to understand how they play.
Yeah.
But I do know that they're not the team they were last year when they won the Europa Cup. So we should be beating them, and we should be winning all of our home games in the Champions League. I'm going to say we're going to win, but it might be another one of those ugly wins, Marlon, where we win 2-1 or 2-0, but it's not going to be an exciting performance where you say, that was, it's going to be, we got the win,
Like it's been all season. Let's be honest about it. Most of the games,
about winning. It's about winning.
It's about winning. And you're a season ticket holder. And I said after the Leicester game, I said that a lot of season ticket holders with Conte, it's not going to be pretty every week.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the way it's going? As in, are you more than happy for it to be, as long as we're getting the results and get the final destination, which for Daniel Levy, it's going to be top 4? Or would you rather see some entertaining football and not get top 4?
I'd rather have both. But
we're not going to get. Look, you're a big Levy. We know you ain't going to get both.
Yeah, I know we're not going to get not now. Not with these players. Not with these players. No, but if we play like this just to get top 4, then I don't want top 4. For me, I don't understand the point of top 4. If you're going to get into the Champions League, then build a team to win it and give it a go. We don't have a team to win the Champions League. No chance. This lot, if we get to the group stage, which I think we will, we'll go out pretty quick. We need to win a trophy. I want trophies. I've always been trophies. I will take 3 Carabao Cups over top 4. I'll take 2 FA Cups for the next 10 years over top 4. I've always been that kind of a fan. I don't care about Champions League. If at least under Poch, we progressed every year in the Champions League. We got better. But you can see in the league we were getting better. So that was different.
Yeah.
But if we're just going to play like this every single week to get top 4 at the end of the year and that's it, then no. I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not. I don't want it. And I've already sold 2. There's 3 games this season I haven't been to. I sold my ticket because I just thought, I don't want to go and watch it. Like, I lack motivation to go to White Hart Lane at the moment.
And do you feel like the whole fan base is feeling like that at the moment because of the way we're playing and the players we've got? It's just a case of Conte at the end of the day is trying his best with not the ideal squad. So he's just trying. He's using his thing that he's always said: if you're not going to win a game, don't lose.
Our fans are split, man. Our fans don't. I don't think our fans know what they want. There's some fans that want pie charts, financials, trend lines. They want to see that we're moving up the league table, and they're happy with that. And Champions League, and there's other fans that want to be entertained. They want to see brilliant football. They want to be on the edge of their seats. They want to be wild. And there's other fans that want trophies. Right? Yeah. So if you said to fans, what do you want? For the club to stay stable, financially strong, to be savvy in the transfer market, and continually be a club that doesn't depend on big sugar daddy owners? Or do you want a team that plays sexy football, makes you feel like you're being entertained and you're just wowed by what you see? Or do you want trophies? If you said you could only pick one, I think the fans would split equally in each one of those groups. I go straight into the trophies. I go straight into trophies.
I'm with you on that because I sit in the trophy. I think it's because I'm being so starved from a trophy, I will do anything. And I've always said to people, the Carabao Cup, if it's good enough for Pep, it's good enough for Spurs. And I don't understand why people write it off. At the end of the day, the Carabao Cup for a lot of teams has gone on to, like Chelsea, Mourinho. It was Mourinho's first Chelsea. It was Pep's first trophy. Look what it can lead to once you get that winning mentality in the team. So I'm never going to be writing off a Carabao Cup. Do I think it keeps a player like Kane? Probably not long term, but he's starved at the moment, and he would rather a trophy than the top goal scorer. That is where he's at no more.
I don't know why Kane and Son are at Tottenham. I personally don't understand it. Players of their quality, right?
Yeah.
Golden Boot winners, assist winners, international record-breaking goal scorers. They have got everything to go to any of the greatest clubs in the world. They have got it. They have got it.
Yeah.
The fact they've chosen to stay here, I don't get it. I mean, I'm glad as a Spurs fan. I'm super glad. I don't ever want to see him.
And Kane hasn't decided to stay here. He had no choice.
Yeah, he kind of got forced. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, okay. He got forced.
He got forced. But Son decided to sign a contract at the worst point at the club going for
I don't get it. I mean, Conte must have given them assurances, and I'm guessing the club have given Conte assurances that something at some point is gonna, there's gonna be some big moves in the transfer window, some really exciting moves for Conte to then take us to that level. But it hasn't happened yet, and he's been here for 2 transfer windows, Conte now.
Yeah.
So, and each time it doesn't happen, Son and Kane are getting a year older.
Yes.
Players that are at the club that are good might start looking elsewhere, like Romero, Højbjerg. They might think, let me see what else is going on out there. So this is why Poch's team fell apart. For the brilliant 3-4 years we had, 5 years under him, not winning a trophy, the players like, we're done, man, and it all collapsed in the end. So you can see that happening. If it doesn't work with Conte, this is over. Like, they're all gone.
Yeah.
The best players are gone.
Yeah. And
Poch ain't going to come back for this romantic fairy tale return, and suddenly he's the manager ready to go and win everything. No way. No way that's happening.
No, very, very, very true. Now, just before I kind of let you go.
Yeah, man.
If Spurs go into, if the end of the season comes, we make top 4.
Yeah.
Is Conte going to stay? Or will he think about jumping ship? Is it a worry? Basically, he hasn't signed that contract yet. I know there's rumours going around he gets to extend it and we get to extend it. But
Marlon, let me tell you something about that.
And I did
Spurs,
say rumours.
Spurs could extend his contract.
Yeah.
But are they going to extend it if he don't want to be here? Are they going to pay a man another £20 million?
Yeah.
Who turns around and says, "Fine, extend my contract. I don't want to be here. You're not going to get the manager you think you've got." Spurs will say, "Okay, we're kind of forced to not extend then." So Conte for me holds all the cards. I think it depends whether either he's backed in January, like properly backed, which is hard, I guess, or if next summer we don't bring in top players. I mean, top players. I don't understand why he would stay. I don't get it. Like, what does he think he's going to achieve? He knows his team's not good enough. He knows the competition, what they're about, and he said many times what we need to be able to compete, not win, but to compete with City, Liverpool, and so on. And he said we need 3 or 4 transfer windows.
Yeah.
Well, you've had 2, and clearly that hasn't done the trick, not yet. So we're gonna find out. I'll be honest with you, Marlon. I'm baffed why Conte is here still. I'm baffed.
I was a bit shocked. Why? Because usually I think I was expecting him, because he didn't sound too happy after January the 31st. He wasn't in the interviews and stuff. You could tell. But I'm in the sense at the moment is it because at the moment there's no other club out there for him to go to, and he wants to be involved in football.
Juventus are dying for a manager, man.
I know, but
they're desperate.
He doesn't get on,
and all the Juve fans want him back.
Yeah,
he doesn't. You're right. You're right.
And that's a problem. So because I've been in the sense of the only reason why we got Conte was because he was expecting the Real Madrid or Barcelona job at the end of that Inter when we finished at Inter, but they both went to other people, and then he was kind of like stuck. And then Paratici was like, "Okay, come and do Spurs for 18 months and see where we get to." But is it a case now, even, he's had his moments where he's been like, "I want out," and then he's had his moments, I can't believe what I'm doing with this squad, a great bunch of players. But is it a case of, at the moment, Conte's thinking, I'm going to wait to see what's out there next summer before I decide on making my choice on Spurs?
Marlon, I don't know. I know Spurs fan knows. I know pundit knows. Honestly,
Still, I was expecting you to know. Come on, you're in the know.
In the know. Yeah, I'm in the know. Look, we're going to find out, man. We're going to find out. Like, I've got a lot of questions in my head that I want answered, but I'm not going to try and guess, because I've done that before and ends up going wrong. I disagree with Tommy, by the way. I don't think we were in the game. I don't think we were still in the game. I think it was a matter of time before the pressure got on top of us, and I predicted that we would buckle if we stay with that back 3, and we did in the end. Emerson I said, do not let the wing backs push up. Keep the wing backs back for this game. Don't do it. The fact Emerson got the red card up there, he shouldn't have been up there. So for me, we invited that on, and people can say like Lloris, he messed it up. How much pressure do you want our defense to take in the game? We gave away. At one point of the game, we had 13% possession for like a 10-minute period. How much pressure can you contain the way we were, they forced the errors for me. But look, Tommy's got his view. I've got my view. That's fair enough. But regarding Conte, we're going to find out. If he does walk, I hope, like the movies, he lights the match and just flicks behind him and just really bring the house down. So the pressure is so much on the board, they just go. But if he stays, I pray he stays, because he's going to get some serious backing, and we're going to sign players that get us excited.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, because it's your first time on the channel,
I'm going
to ask you a series of 4 questions, and hopefully these come back to bite you in the bum at the end of the season. Okay.
I'm not a gooner.
Nah. Where do you think we'll finish in the league?
I don't know until the January transfer window. I've said that to everyone that's asked me that.
Okay, say this, right? Got the squad now. It doesn't change. Where do you think we finish with this squad right now?
Maybe
looking at everything around you.
Maybe Europa Cup.
Where are we going to finish in Champions League?
With this squad?
With this squad right now, yeah. And so we don't.
We're going out before the quarterfinals easily.
Funny enough, everyone has said that. FA Cup, if FA Cup, depending on if we get a good run or not, it's luck of the
No, we're not winning the FA Cup.
And League Cup?
Maybe. But again, I think we're going to have to beat a couple of very good teams over. We're going to have to play one top side over 2 legs.
Yes.
And
if
that's,
you look at our record, and especially under Renick, every time we've come up against a top 6 or top 4 sides, we've gone out. So
look, I'm not going to dismiss the Carabao Cup because I do think that's possible. But again, have we got the squad to rotate for that? No way. We don't. This current squad for me isn't good enough. The best we can get, I think, at the moment with this squad, beg your pardon, is top 4. We can get top 4. But it's going to be tight. Like last year, it was tight. It's going to be tight.
Stel, thank you so much for coming on.
No, man, always for you, bro, man. Big up, Marlon.
Pleasure. And
you call me whenever you want me to come on, man.
I'll be making sure I come on Tottenham Away very soon as well.
Whenever you want.
I love being on Tottenham Away last time I was on. But thank you so much. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, the Spurs, man.
So my next guest, I have been looking forward to interviewing this guy since he said yes. Let me bring him out. Alex, how are you doing?
Listen, I've calmed down. You know what I mean? Listen, I if you haven't seen what I said on We Are Tottenham TV,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I said, I'm not surprised by this. I've already said about I'm not going to go on about Emerson, and it's not because everybody knows. And Danny was saying, "Oh, no one knows." Well, everybody does know what I said because I've said it on multiple occasions to him personally. I said it multiple occasions on the We Are Tottenham TV. I've said it multiple occasions on other channels as well. On my channel, and if you don't know, get to know. You know what it is. It's Alex THSC, and you know how it is. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's the box office. So you know what I mean. So I don't really need to say any more on Emerson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My disappointment of this game was after the sending off, because like I said before, it was only Emerson that got sent off, the worst player on the pitch.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
Harry Kane, Son, Richarlison, Bentancur, who's supposedly a superstar but doesn't do nothing for me, a reject, and then you've got Højbjerg, who's bang average, but to be honest with you, I think he gets a lot of harsh words from me. But he's not the problem. I've got to be honest. And you got Dyer, who's supposedly Virgil van Dyer. You couldn't make it up, couldn't you? I mean, bang average, honestly. I mean, he's like jelly. So it's just like, honestly. And then people are starting to blame Lloris. I'm not being funny. Lloris has kept us in games most of the season. You know what I mean?
Very true.
So, you can have a mistake one time. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's made a mistake. Yeah, you can't look at it and say he's not made a mistake. But he's made a mistake. And that's it. And I'm think really summing it all up. This result was coming. It's been coming. It's been absolutely coming.
Yeah.
You know, people saying to me, I'm negative because we're still winning games. Well, we're still getting through games and being lucky. You know what I mean? So this result has been coming. And Conte has to be looked at as well because he's getting the big bucks because he's looked at. I'm not saying we should get rid of him because at the end of the day, I totally agree with everybody's what they're saying. Who comes in is going to win us championships, and I'm not talking about just trophies now, championships, and grow this team because at the end of the day, we've got two players are supposedly world class that have got no trophies and not even a Carabao Cup to their name. Now that is shameful, and that's their fault as well. Oh,
of course, yes.
You know what I mean? And they haven't stepped up in finals. And yeah, you can say whatever you want about Levy, but the thing is, though, there are top players in Premier League clubs and other clubs that have won trophies and have been in the bang average team, and they inspire those players to win trophies. You know what I mean? So there's no excuses. And if they really wanted to do it, they could have left Tottenham. You know what I mean? So
it's a quick question, because you said you talked about Conte there, and obviously a lot of people were saying that we shouldn't have gone 3-4-3 today. We should have gone 3-5-2 because of Arsenal's midfield. Do you agree with that statement, or do you think actually Conte was right to start as a 3-4-3 because that's the formation that we've been used to?
I think the problem is the 3-4, the three was it the five, the three in midfield.
Yeah,
is that I think I look at Bentancur, Basuma, and Højbjerg as similar players.
Yeah,
there's no one that really like and I don't think Maddison, even though when I was at the stadium, he was a proper midfielder, belted our midfield to pieces, honestly, and Tillemans as well. We haven't got someone who can make that pass and attacking wise, and I think they have to have that sort of understanding of Conte's system. You know what I mean? And I think, unfortunately, we haven't found that player yet, I would say. I think Eriksen would have been nearer to that because he's used to doing it before.
Yeah.
But I think it's quite clear that we are missing that. Yeah, I think also when you look at the players that we have, and Arsenal, now I'm not saying Arsenal are absolutely fantastic. You know, I stick by what I say. Until April, I'll judge them, because then we'll see what competitions they're in and see if they cope with 2 games a week.
Do you think? So do you think today was a bit of a wake up call to all us Spurs fans that Arsenal are a lot better than they were last year?
No. Because as far as I'm concerned, they've still got Arteta as their manager. He's bang average. This is the same guy that when you was finished 8th and 5th. And how much money have they spent on that squad, by the way?
Yeah.
And what money that is wasted? Sorry, you know what I mean? It's about time they started stepping up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another thing as well, you know, I'm just not convinced. And as far as I'm concerned, they've only got 2 players that I actually rate in that squad. Saliba, right? Because he is levels above some of the players that they've got. And he's been doing it in the French league as well, consistently. And another one, because when I was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when we won 3-0, which we were bang average, by the way, but Arsenal was just even worse. Martinelli was very impressive, and he was a very impressive guy as well today. Very impressive.
Do you think that's why the tackle came in from Royale? Because he was very frustrated that he was up. You know, Martinelli was not had him on toast, but you know, Royale wasn't our best player on the pitch today. But do you think that was down to Martinelli's performance, or do you think it was just down to Royale?
He's just not a very good defender, mate. And there's nothing really else to say. I've been saying it to so many people. People have been defending him, saying, "Oh, he's got a fantastic personality." I didn't realise he win games on personality, mate. You know what I mean? I think that's for X Factor, mate. You know what I mean? X Factor. You know. Honestly, I don't know where we're going with this. Honestly, okay, the things that he's done to try and improve himself on the human level, I see it. Yeah. I couldn't be hypocritical and say, oh, you know what, I can't see that, and recognize that as a something to respect. I have to say that on a human level.
Yeah.
But if Harry Winks was doing the same thing, and it's not because I'm a fan of Harry Winks, because he's not great, but my point is, if Harry Winks was doing the same thing, do you think anybody would be bothered? No. So, you know, at the end of the day, he just isn't good enough at the end of the day. And that's another foreign spot that we've got. I know we haven't got the problem at the moment because Davis, thankfully, now is a homegrown player at last. You know, common sense prevails.
Yeah.
But we're going to want more foreign players in that squad, aren't we? So, unfortunately, we have to be ruthless. And unfortunately, Emerson doesn't cut it as a right wing back. So yeah.
Who would say? Obviously, Royale's going to now be out for the next 3 games. Who would be your preferred choice at right back? Because obviously, Lucas Moura is one of Conte's choices, but he's not going to be available from the sounds of it for a few months now. He seems to be more injured than possible. You got Doherty, who came back today, and I don't know in your opinion, but did he look any better than Emerson Royale? And then you've got Jed Spence, who let's be honest, Conte has completely said he's a club signing, and he's literally only played him once in the Nottingham Forest game. Would you like to see Spence come in, or Doherty, or are you thinking that Perisic might play on the right?
I think Spence needs a chance. I think Conte's been a bit naughty with that comment, to be honest with you. And I don't think he's helping himself either, to be honest with you, because if he didn't want Spence, he didn't need to take him. You know what I mean? Simple as that. So I'm sorry, I don't really care whether you are you're trying to push yourself away from the signing. If you didn't really want Spence, you could have just said to Perisic, who's not a Don, by the way.
Come on,
Perisic, that you could have said to Perisic, oh, by the way, mate, you know that you did all that work to get Spence in. I don't really fancy it at the end of the day. Nah.
Yeah.
I'll go and get somebody else. Thank you very much. And he would have done the same thing. He would have said no. You know what I mean? So for me, I would do that. Unfortunately for me, and it's really sad because I've got a lot of support for him. Sessegnon's not doing it. Sessegnon is just not doing it. And I've been saying that for quite a while because people have been going over the top saying, oh, he's been great. I said, he's been okay. He's been okay in games. He's not been pulling up trees, no, but he's doing okay. Perisic, I've been told he's been absolutely fantastic. He's been good.
No, today
he's been good.
Yeah. He got found out today.
Yeah, but he's been good.
Yeah,
his performance. But him on a good day is Emerson's worst day. Absolutely hell of a terrible day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is the levels we are talking about. And don't get me started about Dyer. Do not get me started about Dyer.
Before
Honestly,
you carry
do not get me started about Dyer.
I want to talk to you about someone else actually. Romero.
Oh, please, yeah.
You know, because a lot of Spurs fans have been overhyping him and saying how great he is, but since he's come back from his injury, has he been performing as good as we expect him to?
He's worrying me, and I'll tell you why. Ever since he signed that contract, that permanent deal, he's been rubbish, right? He hasn't been good this season. He was great last season, and I had to apologise to two people that were bigging him up.
Yeah.
And the first game I saw him against Chelsea, he bantered Lukaku out the building, and he kept on bantering other strikers out the building. Yeah? So I was watching this, and I don't big up players easily. And I watched it at the stadium.
We know that, Alex.
I watched it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. But at the moment, he's not performing well at all. And this shithousery, like I said, he's looking stupid. When he's not performing, he's looking very, very stupid. With Charleston the same, to be honest with you, because ever since he scored those 2 goals, which again, he's been okay. But everybody, again, it's like because it's a new toy that we've got, and we haven't had a striker like that before. Oh, he's an absolutely fantastic player. Oh, he's got so much enthusiasm. Oh, I love the shithousing. Oh, I love the twirls and everything else. Oh my gosh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, I can't take it. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, right, let's put it in perspective and context now. Yeah? Is he actually scoring the goals that we need? No. This is the same thing with Son. Son scored a hat-trick. Yes, the finishes were absolutely brilliant. Absolutely out this world. But
come on, Alex,
however, Leicester were getting tired. It was the perfect time for Son to come on because he had the space to get into those spaces. Kane could find him the spaces to make the passes to him, and then he had the chance to score the goals and had the space to run into those spaces and have his shot, and that was it. When you stop him from doing that, you lose Son. And that's the reason why Son's not playing well. Also, I got fed up of hearing this conversation about Son. Like, oh, he's not performing well at the moment. Well, the reason why you're concentrating on him, because we've been relying on him for how long? How many years now?
Yeah.
Great. That's the reason.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I can actually understand that.
You know what I mean? Because no one else is stepping up and trying to help him out and just divert the attention of everybody else. So this is the problem I had got with Tottenham fans, the gift that keeps on giving Tottenham fans. You know what I mean? The top Tottenham fans, that the same ones that say
you're one of them too.
no, the top Tottenham fans that say, "Oh, we've got a fantastic group. We're going to win the Champions League now." Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, honestly, you thought you won the Champions League already the way that they were going. Honestly, we are a bang average team that are a Europa team at best. And I stick by that, even if we get through our group, because Sporting handed us to a platter. Yeah. You had the reject from Arsenal, Guendouzi, playing rings around us at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I was there watching him playing rings around us until they had to send him off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, of course. That's what everyone forgets. Until they had to send him off, it was literally we weren't at the races in that game. Quick question from Luan, because I just want to bring, because they've asked you a question. Would you take Pochettino back if Conte was to go?
No, that ship sailed. That ship sailed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That ship sailed when we sacked him. We should never have sacked him in the first place, and I stick by that. Absolutely stick by that. Right? We are, you know, this is where me and Saba don't agree. Right? He says we were terrible. Yeah, we were right. We were terrible, and he made mistakes, but he should have had that season. He should have had that season. Mourinho should never have gone near the club. Absolutely gone nowhere near the club. The mistake was, if you sack him Pochettino, you get names in. You get Brendan Rodgers in. Someone similar to Pochettino. 100%. 110%. Okay? So, but at the moment, Conte's here. Okay? We have to take him on. He needs his players. He absolutely 100% needs his players. And you've got to do what he wants at the end of the day. We need a trophy this season, or it's a failure. 100% a failure, because you know, there's only so many times you can do it, and even if we get second and we don't get a trophy, it's still a failure for me, because the time's ticking. And only how many times are you going to have Kane and Son having to play those games out their skin?
And
there's only so many times that you can say they're going to sit there and say, you know what? I need to sort my legacy out here, because I'm looking embarrassing at the moment, because I've not even got a Premier League to my name. And bang average players that are no better than me have got Premier Leagues to their name.
No, very true. Very true.
And that makes them the GOAT, then just world class. You know what I mean?
And that's always going to be the
argument. And that's the thing is, though, Tottenham fans don't want to see this. They don't want to hear this, because they don't listen to other fans. They're in tunnel vision, because they love. This is what fans
it seems to be a North London thing. I think both us and Arsenal fans do exactly the same thing. We don't listen. They don't listen.
Tottenham fans. This sums up Tottenham fans. The Sol Campbell, right? They say we'd rather have Arsenal get relegated than us win the league with Sol Campbell. That just sums up Tottenham fans.
I did see that this week
perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Because the fact is, trophies do matter, because why did Kane want to leave Tottenham last year, bruv?
And everyone forgets that. Everyone forgets that he is at the end of the day, he's not here because he wants to. He's here because he was forced to stay. He's not, and that's the biggest thing. And no matter what people say,
and the only reason why he's happy right now is because of Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
If Antonio Conte goes, he's leaving. He ain't caring. He's sitting there thinking, oh, really? So I've done all this time at Tottenham, and what have I got to show for it? Oh, yeah, I've got the record. Nothing else. Yeah.
Alex, before I let you go, so because this is your first time on my show, I'm going to ask you a series of questions, quick answers.
Yeah.
And hopefully this will bite you in the bum at the end of the season. I can bring this all up. But right now, it's on the position right now where we are in. Where do you think we'll finish in the Premier League?
Just fourth.
Just fourth. Where do you think we'll finish in the Champions League?
We'll get out the group just. But I prefer, and I don't care what anybody else says, I'd rather prefer going to Europa League and winning that, because I think that would be better for us.
Okay, say we do finish third. Do you think we'll go on and win the Europa League?
I would hope so.
Okay.
Because I think that would be more benefit to Tottenham winning the trophy than taking part in the Champions League, getting bantered out of it, and then not getting a trophy. Because the thing is, though, I think we can get the Carabao Cup. I still.
That was going to be my next question.
That's just like a Blue Peter badge as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, you know.
But
I mean,
is it with the Carabao Cup? I said this to Stella earlier. Pep and Jose, if you think about winning teams that have gone on to win trophies in the Premier League and stuff, actually a lot of them do go on to win the Carabao Cup first. It's the print point to go win your first trophy before you go win the next. Do you not think, or are you just
could be? But I think the reason why I say that is because we've done it before and we haven't done it afterwards. We ain't done nothing afterwards with good managers.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, one day Ramos will always be. He lost to Berbatov and Keane that summer.
Yeah.
So it was always going to be a difficult ride for him.
And then George Graham was an actual winner, wasn't he? He was a trophy winner, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So this is the thing. Listen, I like to be proven wrong. You know what I mean? I'd like to see an FA Cup because I always say this: Leicester City, and people can laugh at Leicester City all they want, but they've got a Premier League and an FA Cup to their name. You know what I mean? So
don't get me started.
You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? It's like everything. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's just. I don't rate Arsenal because I rated that Leicester team more than what I see Arsenal because I think that Leicester team had more players in there that were decent and also they were cheap as well. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And look at some of the players that they've gone out now. You know what I mean? And you had to pay loads of money for them. You know, we've got some good players. Yes, we do, but. Unfortunately, it just isn't cutting the mustard at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And it has been coming, unfortunately, Marlon. And I've got to be honest. I'm just honest like that. Unfortunately, I can't lie to myself. I can't lie to myself. It's going to be a very difficult season. Be interested to see where we are at after the second part of the season because that's when the business side in. That's when I'll start looking at it and saying, you know, see what happens, and that's it. But we have to win a trophy this season. It's an absolute must.
Yeah.
Because I think that will determine what will happen next. I think in that sense, and we, I think it would be nice after this reign to have a major trophy like an FA Cup to our name or a European trophy, or if you want to dream of Premier League. Because if you can't win it with Conte, you're not going to do it with anybody else, aren't you?
Well, this is the serious question, but yeah, it's one of them. We're gonna have to wait and see. Alex, it's been an absolute pleasure. Please make sure you come on again.
Oh, really?
Please make sure you come on again.
Let me do my outro because I think it's only way fitting because everybody knows exactly what how I do it, and you know how it goes. You know what I mean? Because it's only the one, and it's only the one, the only Alex THFC. Mr. Box Office. And if you do not know, where have you been? You need to get to know because you know what time it is. You know what I mean? When I start speaking and I'm out of here. Take care, bruv. Take care, bruv.
Come on,
have a good time.
Thanks,
Take
Alex.
Care. Yeah. And big up to you, Marlon, by the way. Great guy, bruv. Yeah. Great guy.
You too, man.
Take care, man.
See you later. Thank you. And that was Alex, Mr. Box Office. I hope you enjoyed him. I've got another guy coming out. And someone who was at the game today. So hopefully, let's see another perspective on the game. How you doing, Jay?
Shit. I mean, I think today was up there with the most embarrassing managerial performance Conte's pulled at Spurs. He looked like he started the game wrong. The structure was wrong. How we can play a 3-5-2 and look amazing, and then him still stick with the same formation, it going wrong. We had one attacker on our bench there. If Son, Kane or Richarlison got injured today, we had no backup. Brian Gill, who seems to be sulking that he's been forced to stay at Spurs, and what does that leave on our bench? Who have we got? Sessegnon. That's it. It's cool. And I tell you what, today, even the fact that Spence stayed on the bench once again, bearing in mind the last time he played at the Emirates, he was man of the match and one of the best players on that pitch that day. It's shocking. Conte's just starting to sort of show that some of the signings that were made weren't his signings. And we've seen this before. And it's just typical with the way Daniel Levy runs the club and the way the club's... we're taking steps backwards again. You look at this £150 million fucking war chest. That soon dissolved. They were saying, what's it? We had 150 million plus league position money, plus Champions League money. So you're talking north of 250 million. We brought 34-year-old Ivan Perisic, who, don't get me wrong, he's been quality. Basuma, who Conte reckons hasn't got the attitude to start at the moment. Spence, who Conte openly come out and said, he ain't my signing. So where does that leave us? Richarlison. Yeah, he's fantastic, but that's it. Again, we're light up top. We need a creative midfielder that we have needed since Eriksen left. It's just shit. It's frustrating. And being in that crowd today, I just wanted to go home at like 60th minute.
So so obviously when the lineups were out, how was the crowd feeling around you? Was they a bit like 3-4-3, no nothing on the bench, or was it like let's see how this goes?
I was in King's Cross at the time, and when the squad news come through that we had Brian Hill on the bench, and that was it. But obviously, I think it was about 20 minutes, 15 minutes before that, somebody tweeted a picture of Kuleveski turning up. So there was a bit of hope, and when that lineup come out, it's just like, yeah, well, they're going to come out guns blazing, and we're going to have to sit there and sort of try and weather the storm. But
with the first goal, when Partey obviously puts it top corner, were you thinking this is going to be one of them days, or were you expecting a reaction?
I was expecting a reaction. I mean, in regards to Partey's goal today, I think it's one of them things that no keeper in the world would have saved it. Obviously, in my opinion, the bloke shouldn't be anywhere near a football pitch. He shouldn't be anywhere near anywhere. Okay, but it was like when obviously that went in, I thought it's either going to be one or two things. We're going to all of a sudden sink back again and keep playing sloppy, or we're actually going to try and attack them for once. And when we did put on the pressure, we were all over them. And then it gets to the second half again. We come out and they start strong. And we just let them do what they wanted to do. And don't get me wrong, I know it's the Emirates and we've won barely anything ever there. It's just not good enough to go there, to go down to 10 men and then not just go down. I understand we've got congestion of fixtures coming up. We've got loads going on. But to bring all of our attackers off, leave Kane on, who at the moment is our most valuable player, to leave him on the pitch. So it wasn't, oh no, we've got congestion of games. Because if you're going to be honest and say it like that, Kane should have been the one coming off. Richarlison or Son staying on, because Richarlison's got back up in Kuleveski. And it's just looks like Conte losing it.
Do you think the subs though were more down to damage limitations, where he thought Arsenal were opening us up after? Because obviously when the third goal went in, it was literally the simplest goal they could have scored. Do you think that Conte was thinking, actually, I'd rather just this game finish 3-1. I can't be having 4, 5, 6, because actually, if it would have stayed, if we tried to attack it, it would have been 4, 5, 6.
I don't think that's right. I think, in my opinion, that if obviously we've got one attacker on the bench who plays on the wing, so we brought Seth on. We could have brought Hill on and just allowed him to play just in that number 10 role behind Kane, but it just looked like today Conte panicked with his subs. He finally might have realised that, okay, I should have played my three in midfield. Obviously, Oliver Skip again coming on today. From when he was on, he looked good.
Yeah, no, you did. Yeah.
But I just don't think that. Sorry.
That's all right.
But I don't think. I think we need to try a new pair in the midfield. I don't think we've played one single game this season, including Southampton, where we've actually looked good.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on that statement. And do you think, actually, when you look at how our season's gone so far, do you think it's going to be a case of that we're going to have to just bear with what's going on, and we're just going to get through games not to lose them?
I don't think we have that option. I think we either have to pick ourselves up and really go at it. I mean, next week we've got Brighton. They've pulled off a 3-3 with Liverpool today and should have won. I think realistically we've got 2 years of being one of them teams that's spoken about being top teams, and then Newcastle, the damage limitations off of them, they're going to open that checkbook up like City did. And I think that will knock us down to we'll be fighting for 5th, 6th, 7th even. And we've been lucky that teams like Chelsea and Liverpool are not performing. That is the only reason we're third, is because Chelsea's team hasn't gelled yet. And there's something going on at Liverpool in regards to Salah doesn't seem to be sort of kicking into gear yet, and we know he will. But I mean, once they kick into gear, let's be fair, I can't see us. I don't think we have a better squad than Arsenal, City, Chelsea, or Liverpool. I don't, and I think if they start to pick up form, we get an injury to Harry Kane at the moment. We don't get any goals. That's our goals. That's where they're coming from. It seems to be him week in, week out. And don't get me wrong, I was listening to Alex just then. Alex was saying about how we can criticise Son because it seems to be that he's overthinking things. Like there was a pass in the first half. Harry Kane was running clean through where it looked like he was clean through, and Son just smashed it. And it would have just been a simple little lay through, and it's just the way he's thinking at the moment. And I'm hoping it's just a confidence thing. I'm hoping he looks at today and thinks, "Oh, come on."
Do you think? But it's a good point about Son's passing it. But do you think it's not just him? Actually, it's the team as a whole where they just can't put two passes together.
100%. This. I don't think Tottenham have ever been a defensive squad. We're not comfortable playing defensive football. We're not certainly not comfortable passing the ball around the box.
Yeah.
As for Lloris again, he's had another fucking clanger. It's happening every couple of games. He's doing something that's putting us in trouble.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, I see the links to Oblak last week. I'd be more than happy to bring him in, but it ain't going to happen. And I think with Lloris, he's an amazing shot stopper, and on his day, he is unbelievable. But today, how he's caused that second goal to go in, it's for a world-class keeper, it's just not great.
And just going on the Royale sending off, obviously you were there in the stadium. Was a lot of the crowd, did they expect it to be a sending off, or was it a case of what's he done? Actually, in the back of your minds, actually he's going to be missing for the next 3 games. It's a godsend.
Don't get me wrong. I'm glad he's been sent off. I can't. All this bullshit. We spent £1 million to get better in the last 6 months. What the fuck's he got better at? Breathing, because he's useless. And I'm not somebody who likes to single out players, but week in, week out, it is him that is always a talking point of fucking up somehow. Be it 1 minute he'll have a good game, then all of a sudden he will be absolutely awful. Today was coming a mile off. He was on toast every time Martinelli had the ball. I think every time Martinelli picked up the ball, because Romero weren't following him in, he was panicking, diving in, and he was just getting skipped over. And when he got sent off, the bloke who was sitting next to me, he said, "You know what? I'd rather him fucking get sent off than be gone for 3 games," because Doherty before his injury was insane. Spence deserves his turn. He's waiting on that bench patiently. He deserves a go. And let's be fair, he can't be worse than what we fucking had.
And let's just quickly go into Tuesday before I let you go. Do you think we'll get the result on Tuesday that we need, or do you think it's going to be damage limitations from now on in?
Damage limitations. I think realistically, I agree with Alex. We're better off to finish third. We're spectators in the Champions League. Unless we get a lucky draw, which we ain't going to get, I don't think. We were lucky enough with our group stage and we've made a fucking mess of it.
Yeah.
I think, personally, the German fans are notorious for being fucking insane. We're going to be going there on a low, especially after a loss against our biggest rivals. I personally think that we're going to go there and we're going to let them attack again. It's going to be the same shit where we're going to go, "Oh yeah, you can attack us and we'll try and counter." And I just don't see that. It's not Champions League football. It's really not. We tried to play in the Conference League under Jose, defensive football. We've signed one new player that's actually different to what we've been going in. We got knocked out of the Europa League conference with.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. And I'm hoping that this loss today is going to make them boys go back and go, "Do you know what? Look at our results. Yeah, we've got points at the bridge. We got a point at the bridge. We're taking points where we haven't. Look at our performances. We've been awful. And we've rid our luck and it's come to an end."
Yeah, true. Very, very true. Jay, thank you for coming on. And obviously, go drink some more alcohol. If you haven't seen him, follow this guy on Twitter. His tweets are quite funny. But yeah, can't wait to have you on again, mate. And hopefully see you soon. But as we always finish on, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Cheers, Marlon, mate. Thank you.
So, one more guest, my last guest of the day. And I've probably been dreading this one as well because he's miserable like the rest of us. But How you doing?
Yeah. I don't know where to start, to be honest with you.
Let's start.
You should see my phone, right? So as soon as we lost, like my WhatsApp just went nuts.
Mine too. I'm not gonna lie. Mine went absolutely
But
crazy.
I've been getting it like all day.
To be fair, I have to admit the Arsenal fans that have texted me, I have to say a couple of them have been actually quite not very Arsenal-like, and I've actually said Conte messed it up for us. And I'd like to know what your opinion is on the formation, because that seems to be what everyone seems to be going on right now. Was it the formation that cost us from the beginning?
No, I don't think so. It's just the mentality of our players when they go to Arsenal, which is not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We were in the game, and then Emerson does a brain-dead flipping tackle. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. And then it goes down to 10 men. We're completely out of the game then. And I'm like, honestly, what the hell are you thinking? And then you got Lloris doing like clangers left, right, and centre in goal, yeah? And I'm sorry, but he's like another player who's on the decline for me now. Like, we need a new goalkeeper, and Black needs to come next summer, like, so badly. Because we can't carry on with the people that can't fucking kick a ball.
If we don't make Champions League, he ain't coming.
But no, it's the same old story.
It's a quick question. Were we quite lucky in the first half to be 1-1?
Well, in the first 5-10 minutes, I kind of expect Arsenal to come at us. Like, it wasn't anything different, yeah? But I thought we were going to get a penalty regardless. I just had this feeling that we'd score from penalty.
Yeah,
with Kane, yeah. So I was, even at 1-0 down, I wasn't like that worried. It's only after the red card that I just lost my marbles pretty much at home.
Do you think, so because I know a lot of people are going to be blaming. I know Royal didn't have the best of games, but when you look at it, anyone, like you said, we don't turn up at the Emirates, but was any player out there have a decent game today? You know, could come out and go,
okay, I'll give you two players.
Yeah,
Bentancur, I thought was probably our best player by a mile today.
Yeah.
I thought Perisic had a good game until he came off.
I'm quite surprised by that. I personally, I'm going the other way, but I thought Perisic was really poor.
I thought he had a good game.
Because I look at the first goal, he doesn't shut. Is it Saka that plays the ball back to Partey? He doesn't.
Saka,
yeah. He doesn't get close enough to him. He allows that room. Yeah, the two midfielders are far apart. And then the second goal, he gets beat too easy again by Saka, and Saka gets the shot in.
But you could argue the same on the other side, because Martinelli was spinning Emerson in round circles.
Yeah, he was, and I agree with you. And I thought Martinelli was the better one out of the two wingers, but actually Martinelli didn't actually do anything that cost us anything today. If you look at,
I even thought Longley in the first half wasn't that bad. I thought he did.
I agree. I think Longley was okay. I did think Longley was okay,
but it's just. Obviously our tactics was to sit back here and hit him on the counter, which makes sense, yeah. But people are not understanding it. We've got square pegs and round holes. You got Emerson, who's not even a wing back, and I don't think he's even a good defender, to be honest. Playing a right wing back, right?
Yeah.
And you've got Spence on the bench, who he didn't even want. A logical thing would have been to sell Emerson and keep the Spence money, actually buy a right wing back he wanted, yeah?
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing when the Atletico Madrid, if Atletico Madrid wanted him, I still don't get why we didn't sell him. I don't get it. Maybe Conte knew deep down if he had sold Royale, it was going to be Spence and Doherty. And that's not what he wanted. He needed Royale.
And it's like, these sort of things are like very Tottenham. It's just like, just don't. He's not going to look. I'm going to say on record, he won't play Spence in the Premier League game. I guarantee it. Unless like we have Lucas injured. I know he's injured. Doherty injured. Some other makeshift right wing back injured. Like,
he might have no choice in these next 3 games because let's be honest,
if Doherty gets injured, he might play.
Yeah, because Doherty came on today. Was he any better than Royale when he came on?
For me, he was.
I question that. Actually, they both were poor, and actually, I'm going in the sense of actually it's time to play Spence and see what he's got. Because I'm
trying to tell you, he won't play Spence. Because if you play Spence, the politics of it, people don't understand. If you play Spence, Lee will be like, oh, yeah, I can just buy him any old player now.
Yeah, because the one that I wanted, look how he's doing for the team. No, I completely agree with that, and that's going to be
why
a
I don't
major
want him
issue.
to play him partly.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm actually in the same boat. But he
I
might
don't
get to a
think
point
it's
that's got
player.
no choice.
Like
Yeah.
he's just. But the problem is our options in that we didn't like. For me in the summer, that was like one of the most important positions we need to solve. And the problem is because it's not solved right, you're playing the system with 2 wing backs, and we've got Perisic, who's the only one out of the 4 for me who's like a guaranteed, natural. I know Sessigno's got potential, and I still don't rate him, but that's another story. But like that's and then we improved in some areas. But if you're going to play this sort of system, you need the specialized players for the system, right?
Yeah.
And I know Spencer's like a club signings. Let's go into it, and he might be a good wing back, right? He's not rubbish. Oh, I actually know him. Hey, you're right.
What, Spurs are rubbish? Yeah, we know. Rubbish too, don't worry. The question, no, this is going to be my next question.
But like, do you understand with square pegs and round holes? And you can't play a system like Conte plays. It's not like a 4-4-2 or like a 4-3-3 where you can play different kinds of players and positions, right? If you're playing wing backs, you need like a specialized wing back. And he very rarely converts a defender into a wing back. He's running a winger into a wing back, like with Perisic. So Emerson is not going to work. I don't know why we persisted with it so long. It's just, and today it just came to a head. I mean, I don't know if you saw the group chat, but
but question for you, because you sit there and say, okay, right wing back was the biggest problem. Do you not think, no, if we would have gone out and signed a right back, we'd still have the same issues because we've still got the players like Dyer, Davis in core positions that actually needed to be sorted? We still haven't got the central. Bentancur and Højbjerg's probably our best 2, but is it when you think about Conte teams, the core has always been through the middle. Like listening to Cesc Fabregas today, it was really weird because he played under Conte, and he basically said for the first 6 months, Conte didn't want him. This is what he said. He said, Conte, and when you look at how many games he played that season, he kept coming off the bench. And then the second half of the season, he worked hard and came in so he could play with the Matic and N'Golo Kante and made it a 5 in midfield with Hazard and Costa up front when he could. Is it a case then that actually, when you look at our core, Kane, Son, and probably Højbjerg to Bentancur, they're probably exactly the same. Is it a case of that actually we needed to improve our defense more than anything? Because if I ask you about Romero right now, is he playing well at the moment?
I mean, compared to the other 2, he's probably playing all right. But for me, Longley was probably the best of the 3 today. And I know.
Yeah, I thought he played really well.
My feelings on Dyer. I don't rate him. But unfortunately, we didn't go out and sign a central centre back, even like an experienced one. So we don't really have a choice but to play him. Like, I'd honestly on the right, I'd rather see instead of Sanchez, Tanganga. To be honest with you.
See, again, I'm thinking on that right hand side, if Doherty ain't gonna work, we're stuck. Being honest,
no, we are because we didn't sign a right wing back in the summer.
Yeah, because I don't think Tanganga's good enough to play right on the right. If I'm being personal, because again, you're having the same.
No, I meant right centre back. Sorry,
right centre. He can't even play. He's not good enough. Unfortunately, Tanganga's not good enough and should have gone out on loan. I think personally, because if you look at the game when we played Leicester last year, was it when we won 3-2? Him and Sanchez were a problem on that side. So it's a case of Sanchez can come in and play, but again, Sanchez came in against Leicester and then he makes a mistake in the first minute because it's Sanchez moments. So you got to look at it and go, we another 2 solid centre backs, and it could be a totally different story. But then the gameplay, is it any different because we're still going forward?
Not really, because
we're relying on Kane and Son, aren't we? At the end of the day,
but because the Conte system, right? You're trying to make creativity out of the wing backs, mostly, And if one of the wing backs, if you got Perisic doing stuff and the other one's doing nothing, like that's half. But again, Perisic
didn't do nothing again today, and wasn't good defensively. He was very poor. Like if you look at it, if you go back and watch it, when you go back and watch the game again, because obviously we're disagreeing on this Perisic.
Yeah, because I thought he played well.
I personally thought he, and considering what I've seen of Perisic, I personally didn't think he played well today. It'd be quite interesting to know what people in the chat think as well. What was your thoughts on Perisic today? Because for me, Longley, Bentancur were probably the only decent performers out there.
And Bentancur I thought was brilliant.
I thought he could have done a little bit more, but I think a lot of the passes between all of them just weren't going well.
Like,
We just can't
Højbjerg
pass the
was
ball.
really bad. Like, honestly, he was really
Yeah.
bad today.
But I think he's the one's down to tidiness again.
Yeah, and I don't
this
think
is
it's
what
down to
happened.
his like lack
Yeah.
of like quality. I don't think that's the right word, but competence, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So,
like,
where did the game really go wrong for you? Where did it go wrong? Was it the starting lineup? Was it when we got it back to 1-1 and he didn't change things in the second half, or was it just when they scored the second, he didn't make the subs quick enough?
I still think I can't agree with what Conte said with the red card, but even then, I mean, we could have nicked the draw if
were
we
we so
men.
When it was 2-1? The question for you: were we any better? Were we any better before? Were we any better going forward? Were we any better than we were in the first half? If you're being completely honest.
What do you mean in terms of what? In what sense?
So did you feel like we could get a go and get an equaliser?
Yeah. I still felt at 2-1 we could get a goal.
Did you really?
Personally, yeah.
Because personally, I thought last year when we lost 3-1, they swept us apart within the first half an hour. But I thought we played a lot better last year than we did today. And that's my opinion. I don't know about you.
That's fair enough. But
and if
like,
you look at the stats behind it, but this year and last year, you'll find it's pretty much spot on. We made more passes last year. We had more shots on target. They had less shots on target. And that's just looking into it. If you look at the bigger picture over 90 minutes, we actually played better last year. And that's really hard to take, considering it was Nuno.
But also, like, you have to take into consideration the red card, because after that we just completely fell apart.
Yeah, but
really.
And after the red card, he made the subs, and let's be honest, Arsenal didn't have a shot. They didn't really threat us because we stuffed out that midfield to go. You're not getting a fourth or fifth. So
because at that point it was damage limitation, though.
Yeah,
that's
because and the subs made sense to me because he was thinking about Tuesday. So
but like for me, like with the 3-5-2, I know a lot of people calling for it before the game, and I was one of those people. Right? I agreed with Stell and whoever it was who said it. Yeah, but at the same time, he started with a 3-4-3. If we're losing, for me, it's like negative to change to like a 3-5-2. Because you're taking off, say, Richarlison, I know he didn't play well, right? I don't think he had a good game at all, but he's another potential attacking threat, and you're taking him off, and then you put another defensive player.
Question for you on Richarlison: have you not noticed the 3 games that he has started, he has not played well, but the games he's come on, he's played well.
What's the other games he started? Sorry.
So he started Leicester.
2 goals. Marseille scored 2 goals.
Forget the Champions League. I mean, this is more Premier League. Yeah. He started Leicester. Didn't play very well, let's be completely honest. And Fulham, he started Fulham, didn't play very well. And started
I don't know about Fulham. I actually thought he had a good game against Fulham.
I didn't. Again, I thought the game again. This is where we're different.
Yeah,
I think the games he's come on, he's played a lot better than he has when he started. And I thought a lot of the stuff at Fulham we played okay, but a lot of it broke down when it went to Richarlison in that game.
And I thought Fulham was probably his best game.
In terms of
all-round play.
I thought again. I did think he played, and I didn't play well again today. I think when he has started, and even against Marseille, let's be honest, until they had the sending off, how good were we really?
Well, the whole team was crap that day, though.
But this is what I'm saying. And is it a case of that actually when Kulu does come back, we have to keep the 3 and keep Richarlison on the bench? So would it have been ideal today?
In Richarlison's defense, right? Like, I think he's stronger on the left side or in the middle. I think right's his weakest position.
Yeah. And those are the 2 positions he ain't getting into right now, is he?
Yeah. But like you say that, but like I saw Alex, before I came on, about Son's performance.
Gotta love Alex.
Yeah. See, like in the first 10 minutes, I thought, like in spells in the first half, I thought Son was actually doing okay. But if we look at Son's overall performance over the season, he's only really had like a good 20 minutes. If we're being honest.
Yeah, there and thereabouts. Yeah.
Probably 20 minutes. I'm talking about.
No, I thought he was okay. I thought he was okay against Forest. I just think he just couldn't score that day. I think that was the only game I'd say he did okay. But the rest, I agree, he hasn't been that great.
And like Kane, like I don't even think he's playing well.
There's a question for you. Yeah. Why do you think Spurs seem to set their alarm clock for about 20? Because again, today for the first 25 minutes,
It's
we weren't even in the game.
mentality. It's a mentality thing.
And it just seems
Conte
to be,
wants us to be warriors, but they just it's. I sound like Chiellini. It's like the Tottenham. It's just like, but you know, like honestly, like I hate the Emirates game so much. It's like the worst game of the season for me.
Yeah. For me, it's really weird because if you look at us at the Emirates, do you know? If personally, I was thinking about this today. We've only played well there once. Yeah, and it's not even the game we won.
The 3-2, not the 3-2.
No, do you remember one day Ramos, we missed the penalty.
Oh yeah, and Keane missed the penalty. Was it Keane?
And Benton had scored, and we were better than them that day.
Berbatov scored, I think.
Yeah, and that Wenger said, "Oh my God, that was the first time Spurs have actually come here and played well," because Berbatov scored an absolute cracker. We missed the penalty, and then they went that they literally.
That was like 1-1 as well, I think.
Yeah, it was 1-1 at the time.
Yeah. We
missed the penalty, and then Bentner scored the last minute header, and that was. And I'd been to every game at the Emirates up until when we won 3-2, and even when we won 3-2,
did you not go to the 3-2?
I went to. That was the last game I went to, and then I was the only time.
And you were like, I'm done this. I'm done now.
But then I went to the League Cup game, but we won't go into that. But since then, even when we won 3-2, we were so poor in the first half.
I remember we were rubbish in that first half.
Yeah, we were rubbish. And even in the second half, we weren't great. We were just a lot better because Redknapp changed it. The 4-rule as well, we were poor.
I don't know how we got a result that day, to be honest.
So this result today was probably more expected. But would you think today's result was more of a reality check for all our Spurs fans? We're not quite where we need to be.
As a question to you, where do you think we need to be then? If we're not quite where we need to be.
If we got top 4 last year, should we not be making strides to... We should be making strides to being able to compete in the Champions League this year. Do you think the squad we've got is good enough to be in the Champions League?
Some of the squad is, but not all of it.
and that's my question. That is seriously where I'm going with.
But because if you look at it in reality, the Premier League last year, you had 3 or 4 teams who were fighting for one place, who were all really bad, and it just happened to fall in the roulette that we went on a run and we finished 4th, right? So, because I even think if, I know it's controversial, but if this Arsenal team or the Arsenal team last year were in the Champions League, I don't think they're this quality enough. I don't think United team were good enough either.
No, agree, yeah.
So
United probably would have signed better players, though. Let's be honest, if they were in the Champions League,
But I don't think last year's side was really a Champions League team either. I mean, because the way the 4th place fell was who's the worst? Who's the least worst, basically, wasn't it?
And quick question before I let you go. How do you think we're going to get on now? Is this going to be a turning point in our season like it was for Conte before? Or do you think we're just going to keep riding our luck for the next few games?
Well, there is a silver lining. I mean, Emerson's not going to play in the Premier
League. I think that's what's going to be everyone's thing at the moment. I think every Spurs.
So at least I don't have to curse for 90 minutes down the right. But at least we see something a bit different down that side. But with Frankfurt, I'm a bit worried now because of the Lisbon result more than this. Because at Lisbon, you would have thought we would turn up and make a statement, and we didn't. And I think part of Spurs' problem is the mentality is a club. I don't know if it's a club thing or a squad thing. I don't know. Can't pinpoint it to whatever it is. Is that when we play these teams that are, say, lesser, sometimes we just go there and just assume we're going to win. We don't turn up. We're we'll just go there. We'll just do a few things and we'll win the game. But we won't turn up a good mentality. We're going to go there and get a result, make a statement, and make sure we actually win. And that's what happened against Lisbon for me. We just didn't.
Well, yeah, the subs killed us against Lisbon as well. Something we didn't hardly make. And we didn't even make one in Lisbon, did we?
If you look at our bench today, it's only really Brian Gill as a player.
That bench today sums up our transfer window.
Defenders.
It does now. It sums up our transfer window.
But the issue for me is with Brian Gill, right? And I can see why he was pissed off because he was basically told you're going out on loan. And he wasn't loaned out because Spurs wouldn't buy a replacement. It's now we've got a player who Conte probably won't even use because he doesn't want to play. It's a wasted spot.
Yeah, and this is the issue we're going to have. And up until November, until the World Cup is probably the best thing that is now happening for us as a fan base. But we'll see. Has,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah. It's nice to speak to you again. I haven't spoken to you in like
we haven't spoken for a while, have we?
Yeah.
So obviously you are our other host on this channel as well, just as an FYI. So everyone, Has will be presenting some stuff for us as well in after match reactions, to catch him for that. The other Has will be back with you on Tuesday for the Champions League to do the match reactions. So please tune in for that.
I just hope it's not as bad as this.
Yes, hopefully, yeah. If it's as bad as this, but please tune in.
Did Frankfurt lose their last game? Didn't they?
I think they did.
Did they draw?
Yeah.
Oh God, they can.
Yeah. But it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you to everyone in the chat. It's been great, and I'm just gonna borrow it in. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Guma, Luan, Mark. Mark Mitchell, Mark Swift, I have to name you. Has was in it earlier. Scotty M, Has, who's going to be Guma, Tommy, thank you. Abu Dali as well. I'm sorry if I've got these names wrong. Pete Sullivan. Yeah. Who else have we had here?
Peter
and
Sullivan.
Lookman as well. Thank you very much. And Bobby K at the beginning. Yeah. Thank you all for being in the chat today, and hopefully you'll be back on Tuesday to see the reaction of Frankfurt.
Hopefully we'll win on Tuesday.
And hopefully we will win.
You know what? I have the worst deal, because I work in Islington, so I walk into work on Monday.
Good luck. I'm the same. I've got a few gooners that are going to come for me, but that's me running up my mouth. I did expect us to win. I did tell them all we ain't going to beat you at the Emirates, but I was running up.
I thought we did 2-2, but after red card, that was it.
After it went 2-1, I didn't see us coming back. I'll be completely honest. Yeah, I didn't see us coming back. But as always, Has, thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. And hope to see you soon. And yes, come on, you Spurs. Yeah, and as I said, thank you for everyone in the chat again. I've been liking all your comments, but please, anyone who's watching these, please like and subscribe. And as Paul said, only for tonight. You can have your London is red tonight, but London, North London, London will always be lily white. Thank you very much for all. And as always, come on, you Spurs.